I grew up right here on the farm, and this is all I've ever wanted to do. So when I was young, I started jumping on little ponies, and then I started racing real horses, and here I am today managing Congress Hill Farm and training a stable of 20 horses and managing broodmares and babies. Harness racing is an amazing sport working with both human and horse. The horses act to your movements with the lines. It's based on you in a sulky and the horse in the cart, and together you work as one to try to win a race.
Here comes Hammer Time, the slingshot's on cover.
The feeling is like no other.
Hammer Time unleashed.
The wind, the power of the horse, you in the sulky with 10 other people very close to you and driving through tight holes or being on the lead and holding the lead. The most exhilarating feeling I could think of. I took over the farm about 2 years ago. The farm was owned by Harry Landy, who was the #1 driver in harness racing. He accumulated 15,000 wins, and he was the #1 driver in the whole world. He had this training center where he raced all over the East Coast, and then we bought it from him and we created our farm, which now is more focused on just the racing aspect and the breeding farm. Everything has been revamped, and you felt a positivity and an aura in the air that everything was going in the right direction, and that's how it seems, and I'm very proud to be running the farm. So the first thing I do at the barn is I check the training board and I see what need to get done that day. My assistants are usually right behind me, and I usually give out the schedules. Some sets go out at 7:30, some go out at 8:30. Each horse would be on the track for probably 30 minutes to an hour. They jog about 5 miles. If they're in the woods, they'll do 4 laps, which is 4 miles. They'll come back, they'll get a nice bath. So we brush them up, make them feel good, check their hooves, make sure that their legs are real nice and tight, put them back in their stall. Later on at night, when we come back, we'll check their waters, do their feeds, and make sure they're all tucked in for the next day. And by doing that, we'll excel to the top of the industry. The state of New Jersey has 2 racetracks, the Meadowlands racetrack and Freehold racetrack. Freehold is my home track. It's where I grew up. It's very close to everyone's home. It's like the heart of horse racing here in New Jersey. People are generally located within a 30-minute radius of racing there, so it's very easy to get home and be with family after racing. It's where me and my grandpa spent our Saturdays enjoying watching racing. It's where I first started my love for racing, watching all the top New Jersey guys race within 10 minutes from my house. Without Freehold, New Jersey racing isn't what it should be. The Meadowlands racetrack is the pinnacle of racing. It's what every kid dreams about winning.
Driving a Meadowlands, qualifiers. So kind of like pre-race practice for the horses, get them ready for all their big races. It's the best track in the world, most beautiful view of New York City. That's the mecca of racing. That's where you want to be.
And they're off first away is Eternal Patrol from mid-pack, who's trotting out for the lead. What the Hill under tight lines just eases away from the outside. Hammer Time is right there toward the rail. Edging up is Hammer Time to the outside to take his shot. Hammer Time trying to put the hammer down and coming up to his throat on the outside. Hammer Time trying to wear down What the Hill. Hammer Time trying to push past on the outside. And Hammer Time, these two hit the wire together. What the Hill on the inside. Hammer Time drifting on the outside in a photo.
Hammer Time is a 6-year-old bay horse by Muscle Hill. Trainer Harry Landy.
My heart has always been with the horses, working with them and working throughout their kinks and their different types of training needs, and then watching them perform on the racetrack has been very fulfilling. So training is definitely what I really enjoy most. I enjoy driving the younger horses, teaching them how to race, being confident in themselves during the race, and with confidence comes a better race, a better performance. When they grow up, they will be able to compete at the highest level. Harness racing is a family-oriented sport. It's generational. Grandparents, great-grandparents, children, they all get involved. It's in your blood. You learn through your parents and you continue on the generation and what you've learned, and hopefully in the future you have a horse that is as good as the stories that your grandpa or your dad tells you about their best horse. So you hope that one day you have your own horse that tells its story and will live on to the next generation. It has always been my dream to operate my own farm, my own training facility, and to train premier racehorses. Since I was a kid, this is all I've ever wanted. I could imagine myself winning, driving fake horses, imagining it, calling races from my bedroom. I have always wanted to do this, and I'm just following my childhood dream. I just hope that the younger version of myself is always proud of me for continuing on the dream of winning major races and training racehorses.